Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Weekly. There's only 4 of the 5 of us right now. I'm Chris, Dark Avenger C86. Next to me that way, it's always mirrored. We got Brant Fowler.
What's up, everybody?
Below me is Kat Comicuno.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Diagonal from me is Mike Spider Slayer, Comic Book Corner 2.0.
What's up, yo?
And Michael.
Diagonal from me, it's Chris.
Yeah, we're diagonal from each other. It's like,
we're
Brady
the Brady Bunch. Yeah, exactly.
Look down. I don't see Kat, though.
Hey, Brant.
Hey, Mike.
I'm looking at nobody. Don't want to see
Hi,
anyone
Chris.
right now. I know.
Hi, Brant. Oh, I went the wrong way.
Maybe I could see Chris.
Hi, Kat.
Oh, am I going the right way? Now I
Yeah,
am.
there
Hey,
you
Mike.
Yeah, Michael Duderock 18, who will ruin the Brady Bunch setup. He'll be here at some point later on.
That Michael.
He's busy recording something, doing more important things. You know.
We all got things we got to do or want to do.
Oh, yes. No, I know. It's his thing. It's what he does. Every time
That's
something
cool.
new comes out for a specific game, you'll all see it tomorrow on his YouTube channel.
Indeed.
So with that, I'm going to go Kat.
Yeah.
That's going to get old fast then.
Oh, no, I'm done. That's it.
Okay,
That's
good.
the last time.
That's all you got.
That's the absolute last time, Brant.
Okay, Chris.
Good.
May at the
Great.
end of the show. We'll get even more.
Even greater.
But we actually have a pretty slow news week. So that's how you start a show, is by saying that. But we're going to make it as fun as possible. But we're going to start out, I guess, with the comic news. So first up, we have most important Buffy character in years to be introduced in a one-shot.
Who could it be?
I think, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Do I care?
From the image that they showed, like they won't reveal the name or anything, right? But from the image, it looks like it's just like somebody like from the past, like really old.
Yeah.
Maybe? Like a nun, maybe, or something like that.
A nun slayer.
A nun slayer. Yes, that's what it is. That's the secret of Buffy. It originates from a nun slayer.
I mean, that would interest me.
It would be
I'd be
different.
interested to see where that goes. But yeah,
That makes sense.
It does, with, demons and all that. So
Yeah.
I think that'd actually be kind of cool. But me and Brant, we've been sticking around with Buffy, but nothing has really impressed us. So
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully they are not. It's not just hype. I mean, it
Let's
is,
hope
but you
not.
know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So next up for Boom, we got some sad news that Go-Go Power Rangers will be ending with issue 32, which I'm a huge Go-Go fan. And been
darn.
I know. I'm sad. There'll be one less title for us to talk
I was
about.
actually going to say I predicted it happening, especially because with the Omega Rangers happening, the storyline happening now, where can go from here? It's literally going right into Mighty Morphin.
It's gone. Is what it
It's
is.
going gone.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think things have slowed down with it, and I think it'd be interesting to have opportunity for another spin-off or more maybe like miniseries, because that's something I would like to see. It's just like other Rangers, like what they did with Kimberly way back in the day, a couple of years ago. But
I'm okay with just Mighty Morphin, honestly. I don't see them really having to push for any more. And even let's see how far Mighty Morphin goes before they move forward again with maybe Zeo or Turbo. Who knows?
yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I don't know if they will, because just like Mighty Morphin's their bread and butter. And once you get down to the other ones, like, why do I care? All right, let's go on to the next thing, which is Deadpool to visit Krakoa. Yeah, that's happening.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's huge news.
Oh yeah.
I would
back
actually read that issue just to see that interaction, but I think I'm done with the series aside from that. After you told me not to read, I didn't really need to read that issue, Mike.
Yeah.
And he
I'm
ruined
just
the
kinda-
Brady Bunch feel. There he is.
I'm just like, what's up, Michael? I don't know. I have no interest. I don't feel like I missed anything, but this might bring me back for an issue just to see it, and then I'll probably be disappointed and not pick it up again.
Yeah.
And now-
not read it anymore.
It's
Right.
Marvel. It's
Wait, what are we
Deadpool.
talking about?
Deadpool.
Deadpool going to Krakoa.
Oh,
Not the one that you marked down yet, Mike. We're getting there.
No, we already finished that. That's over. We're moving
Yeah,
on.
all the ones you marked down, we talked about.
It's over.
We're just done with that part. Yeah.
But yeah, what's interesting about the Deadpool thing, it goes back to our topic video, which thank you guys for watching that. Is Marvel relying on X-Men too much? You know, now Deadpool's going there. It's like how many other the Fantastic Four X-Men crossover coming up, so it's a lot of X-Men. All right, well, let's move on to something Mike does want to talk about. Michael, Sin Eater arc for Spider-Man. It's a miniseries, it looks like. I don't know if Amazing Spider-Man will go on while this is out, but it looks like it's going to be connected to, what the hell is his name? Kindred. So are we going to finally, I mean, it's been how many issues?
I know.
38, I think.
38.
It's been 80 years.
This
Are they
is
going to finally reveal it?
like, okay, I don't understand the point of bringing back Sin Eater. Like, I guess it's just to stall the story some more. I guess it could be cool. You know, I just want to know the revelation of this character because this is like becoming like a Batman effect, right? It's like Tom King's run. It's like, all right, how long are you going to drag out this story before it actually ends? You know, I can understand a couple first story arcs and seeing an appearance here and there, but I'm telling you, man, we're not going to see this character until the end of his freaking run, and then that's going to be it, you know? So I don't see the purpose of bringing back the Sin Eater character, you know? What's going to be its relevant to Spider-Man? What's it, how is it going to affect the future, if anything? Like, I don't know. I'm not really that excited about it, so we'll see what happens.
It's not.
Yeah.
Tevye said, "Where are we getting a miniseries?" It's not a miniseries, right? It's just an arc in Amazing Spider-Man.
I think it is a miniseries.
It is a miniseries. Wow.
I think it's like a spin-off from the series.
Well, that's even
That's
dumber.
weirder. They're taking a pause on the main series and do a mini.
They made it sound like it's continuing off of the main series, like what?
It is.
Because we saw Sin Eater pop up at the end of the last issue, right? So,
right. Yeah.
If I'm correct, I remember in the Marvel solicits, it's where it says issues 1 through 6. Because in the article right here, it just has like one shot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be 6 issues.
That's insane. There's no need for that. I'm sorry.
Oh no, not at all. I don't have it in front of me. I wish I could actually like reference it, but from what I remember, that's what it was.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Was that your only answer to that, Michael?
No. Yeah.
Because you marked it down too, so I was like kind of waiting to see if you were gonna say something, but you did mark. Yeah. Oh no, you didn't. It's the other one.
No, I was about to say, I don't remember marking that.
Marked it down, you jerk. Oh, and
Michael's like, I don't care about no Sin Eater. What are you talking about?
No, Sin Eater.
No, I've been reading, it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just only had to say, It's just,
that's my answer.
That's it. All right. Well, let's move on to the next topic, which is Who Killed Nancy Drew miniseries coming out. I mean, that's cool because the detective's dead. That's an interesting twist.
Yeah. I agree. I actually have enjoyed a number of the Nancy Drew books from Dynamite. Mm-hmm. So this is definitely an interesting direction to take that. It's weird, and I wish they would continue some of them because they're really good, and then they just end, and then they do something completely different with it. So that kind of makes me sad. But this is a really interesting story, like you said, to kill off the detective, and then the Hardy Boys have to come in and figure out who killed her. So I'm a sucker for a good whodunit anyway. So I'm all on board for this.
No.
The Sin Eater book is solicited as a one shot. It says.
That one in particular is, but I think there was an event that was spinning off of it. But again, I could be wrong. Maybe I was thinking of another one.
I don't know. It's a prelude to either an arc or a miniseries. So
either way, the story is happening. Yeah. So, all right, let's go on to some media news, which this is I think the only thing Chris really wanted to talk about for the whole show. So, Clone Wars final season trailer came out.
I shared it with everybody. I think it looks amazing. I'm looking forward to the last season of Clone Wars. This all leads into Revenge of the Sith. I'm a huge fan of the Clone Wars series. I've watched nearly the entire series, maybe minus 1 or 2 episodes. I'm really happy we're getting a final season, and I'm looking forward to how. I wonder if it'll end connecting somehow to also Rebels a bit, Star Wars Rebel.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Rebels was popular, but I think Clone Wars was so much more popular.
Clone Wars is way more popular. Rebels, I think, only lasted about 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Confession,
I mean,
I've never watched any of it.
I've
seen an episode of Rebels.
It's okay. We could pretend like you were in a coma. Now start watching it.
I've watched like half an episode of Clone Wars. I think that's about it.
Were you not a fan of the animation?
I don't know. There's just something about it. It's like with animated stuff, it has to really grab me to pull me in. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I've watched a little bit of it. Maybe I've seen it like pop up when I'm flipping channels or that kind of thing, but yeah, I've just never stuck with it for a whole episode.
You always change the channel when you're
it's either the tone or I don't know if it's so much the animation as the tone. It's a little too, I don't know. It's just not, it doesn't have that Star Wars feel to me.
I didn't get into it right away either. I think I was really getting into Clone Wars as the series was ending, and then I started binging the whole thing when it was on TV. I think it was like the second to last season on TV where I started to really enjoy it and watch it whenever I saw it on.
You know what show I have really good appreciation for now, and is actually that Spider-Man series from the 90s. I haven't watched it since it was on in the 90s, and now that Disney Plus has come out and that series is on. I put it on for my kids, and as we're driving to school, we have it on and we're like watching it and listening to it on the car. And the episodes are so short. They're like 17 minutes because they're supposed to be commercials or whatever it is. But the show is so good and the animation is so well done. And it's so like straight out of the comics. They have like real story arcs, like comic books and stuff like that. It's just like, man, I got a really good appreciation for this show now.
Oh yeah, what I loved about it is how comic booky it was, and I think it was better than X-Men. I know people love the X-Men one, and maybe it's just my Spider-Man fandom, but I loved Spider-Man.
X-Men always was like the only thing that frustrated me as a kid with X-Men was it was always to be continued. They never had like one solid episode on TV. Spider-Man always, for the most part, it was an episode was a whole story.
Wait, hold on, Kat. When you said Spider-Man, you mean MTV Spider-Man?
No. We're talking about the 90s one. The one before that.
The 90s. Oh, that was good. That was really, really good.
The 90s.
I don't think I've seen the full MTV one. I think maybe I've seen an episode.
It's good. It's really good.
But it's like it so holds up to today's like standards. Like, if you would put that up today, I think like people would love it. You know what I'm saying? As a cartoon as today.
Yeah, it's like storytelling wise, that and Batman the Animated Series, those stories were just so rich and deep, far more than you would expect from a kid's cartoon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I love those. And I like Spider-Man better than the X-Men, but the X-Men had the better theme.
Yeah, I mean that's why people remember X-Men.
Yeah.
I'm still X-Men Evolution girl.
So we have a question.
Evolution.
Which Star Wars? Which is better? Spider-Man STAS is better than Superman the Animated Series or Spider-Man the I'm guessing which one do we like more?
Yeah, I mean Spider-Man for me.
Superman.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Superman.
Definitely Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I have to go with Spider-Man because I've grown up watching it.
Now, if you were comparing,
what were you gonna say?
Go ahead, Kat.
I was just gonna say you're asking people like literally our favorite hero. We're gonna pick our favorite hero.
No, my favorite hero. It's just what I grew up watching. I will say, watched Superman.
If they asked me to compare Superman or Batman, that would be rough because then it would be like I like Batman a little bit more, and that's where it started actually on WB, I think, right?
Yeah, that's what. If you're going to compare Spider-Man to Batman, that would be hard for me.
See, I would probably say Batman. I would too, regard.
Honestly.
For me, I think the shows are equal. I think that it just depends on the love for your character. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of like Spider-Man feels a little bit more comic book, and Batman has a little bit more of a serious tone. Yeah. I think I would have to rewatch Batman the Animated Series again to really make a comparison for today's standards.
I will tell.
And Sweet just said it started on Fox, not WB. Thank you for the correction.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
didn't know that.
He is right. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was part of the Fox block.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually went back and watched an episode of what they claim is the first episode. It's not actually the first episode on DC on the app.
DC Universe.
Yeah, but that one episode, the Man Bat episode, it wasn't the greatest. So if that was like your introduction to it, it's like, I don't know, because I tried to show Lisa. I'm like, this, because she's never seen it. Like, this series is so good.
It started, yeah.
Yeah, and then I showed her that episode, and she's like,
Yeah, you gotta. The first season wasn't the best. I think once you actually get like more of the supporting characters, like when Barbara's in it, and Robin, and once he had people to interact with.
Yeah, it's so weird because it actually started with a multiple episode arc, but then when they restructured it, they moved that arc like 30 episodes back. So now the first episode is that Man Bat one. So it's weird.
We have another question from Tevia. Which one do you guys like, 90s Spider-Man or Spectacular Spider-Man?
90s Spider-Man.
I would still go with 90s too. Like, I think Spectacular is written well, but I know Tevia is gonna kill us for all this. But what are you gonna say, Michael?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh no, I'm real quick. I was gonna say I think for Spectacular, it's a little bit kiddier. And I know it's definitely aimed for kids. And I know Toby's like, oh, it's Greg Weisman. But if you look at the animation, it's hard not to. They're all in high school.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And the animated Spider-Man series from the 90s is like, even though they used lasers and it was like purposely edited to try to, not make it like violent. I mean, it is a pretty violent show. I mean, it's just like they're shooting guns all over the place, the fighting in it, just some of the, overall, I thought it's better than Spectacular.
On the rare occasion where I totally agree with SM Down, the 90s Spider-Man, I agree, was way better.
Yeah.
This is a rare occasion, but yes, I have to agree.
Were you going to say something, Michael?
No, I was just going to say, usually like in like the mid-90s, like some of them like Spectacular. Like I know some friends who like Spectacular, but as growing up, though, when I watched the 90s Spider-Man, it really caught my eye and everything. Remember that play set that they had with the Venom thing, and you got to play with the slime?
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm sure Chris
I think I was a bit too young for that one.
I was probably a bit too old for that one.
Yeah. I was too old.
Fun. That was a lot of fun.
I'm sure also got dirty very quickly.
Sure.
All right, let's go to our next topic, which is let's do Whoopi returning to Star Trek. So Brant wanted to talk about this one.
I didn't even see that. I just saw that today also.
I was surprised you didn't mark that down. That's why I was like,
me too. Because
kind of put it down.
I would have. I didn't see it.
I think it's really awesome because Lisa was telling me Whoopi was on
The View.
Or no, what's his name?
Patrick
Stewart. Thank you. I'm blanking everything. Patrick Stewart was on her show and got to drop the news to her that they wanted to bring her back as a character, and she was
to cry.
Yeah, she was so touched by it because she cited that as like one of her best experiences in acting, and I thought that was really cool. And TNG is like the one Star Trek series that I watched a lot of, and I remember her character vividly, and I think it's really cool that they're going to bring her in because Picard, that first episode was really good. And I mean, it's different than what you would expect from a Star Trek show, I think. And it just, I don't know. I thought it was really good. And to bring some of the original cast, especially her in this case, I think it's really, really fitting and kind of cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to Whoopi Goldberg being on Patrick. Very good. Yes. Patrick Stewart. Picard season 2, which also makes me happy that there's a Picard season 2.
Yeah.
SM Down says it's bullshit that she could come back to Star Trek, but Disney couldn't bring her back in Lion King. I don't think any of them came back for Lion King, so why would she come back out of everybody?
The only person in Lion King that was there was Mufasa. Everyone else was different.
Yeah, so I would understand why.
I mean,
Lion wouldn't show up.
Yeah, Lion Guard again. The only voice actor from the original movie was Mufasa,
and you can't compare it to any other boy.
And he was only in the first episode/movie. He wasn't even in the actual series because they couldn't afford him.
Let's be honest. After that animated one, why would you want to do it again? Because that's like perfection right there. So
Yeah.
I agree. James Earl Jones, thank you.
Yes, James Earl Jones.
All right, well, let's go on.
Also Darth Vader.
Yeah, he is a good voice actor.
Until the helmet came off.
Then he wasn't.
Same guy.
Then he wasn't anymore.
It's like, wait a minute, that's not the same voice.
Who are you? We have actually a comment from Sweet BTW. Thanks to me for mentioning the October Faction Show on Netflix. I binged it this weekend, loved it, and now want to read the books. Cool. I mean, that's what the articles are for. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I did watch the first episode of that. It was I talked to Kat a little bit about it. It was decent. I'll give it a couple more episodes. I thought it was decent, but it definitely it felt like a Sci-Fi Channel show to me. So we'll see if it improves a little bit.
You mean canceled by season 2?
I mean, with Netflix, you really never know.
That's true.
So let's go on to the next thing, which is let's do the He-Man movie postponed forever.
Yeah.
But
He-Man. Okay.
The reason I marked this and I wanted to talk about this was it had nothing to do with He-Man. It's because of the other news in the article, which was Uncharted movie is moving up to take its spot on the slate. So I'm happy about that because we get to see that sooner.
Is Nathan Fillion going to be Nathan Drake?
No, I wish. I mean, no, it's actually Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in it, which is really weird casting.
That is very interesting.
Okay, I love Tom Holland, but he is not Nathan Drake.
I know. I mean, Nathan Fillion's a little old to be Nathan Drake at this point, but somebody along that line, and Josh Holloway from Colony and Lost, that would be good. He's a little older too, but still.
That's going to be a weird movie. It's going to be a weird.
I mean, they're moving it up, and again, no more He-Man. But I think there's so much He-Man.
I know.
It's
I'm kind of a little tired of He-Man, and yet nothing is happening yet.
Yeah, nothing's out, but there's so much He-Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, let's see how this animated thing goes, and then we'll talk about movies again, right? So
watch the anime get postponed indefinitely.
Well, yeah, probably.
Because I mean, the cartoon seems like it's moving, so and I'm guessing the anime is too. But yeah, let's move on to. Oh no, I'm sorry, Michael wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, the thing like what they said. I mean, we all grew up like watching, the animated series, and I don't know how much CGI that they could use on, the He-Man movie, but I was like, okay.
I mean, a lot more than the cartoons.
Oh yeah, a lot more. But I was like saying, it was kind of coming, sort of, that it was going to be indefinitely. But I was like, it figured it would happen.
As those of us that saw that first He-Man movie, it's very hard to do a He-Man movie, right? And
yeah,
it's it would have to be big budget, I think.
That's true. That was bad movie.
Oh, it was so bad. But yeah, the various revivals of He-Man, because that comment just popped up. There was one that was decent. I don't remember exactly when it came out. Probably early 2000s. That was decent, but overall, yeah, they've been kind of disappointing.
I don't honestly know if you're going to be able to duplicate He-Man.
Yeah.
As to the way it was in the 80s. I think it's one of those things that if you grew up to it, that's how you remember it. And there's no way that it's going to be duplicated or ever be the same. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you remember it as a kid. Even now, if you look at the old commercials on YouTube on these toys, oh my God, they are hilarious.
Right.
And these kid actors are hysterical. But then you look at the toys themselves and you're like, yeah, I really bought this shit.
Right.
Or I really got this. Because the toys are really pretty bad and they all do the same thing.
Yeah, they are. It's and they break easily.
Oh God.
I had so many missing legs.
Do you remember Ram Man?
Yes.
What? Which one?
Ram Man.
I remember.
Where you push him down and he pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how long did that take before it broke?
Right.
With me, it took 24 hours.
For me, I didn't own it, so
You weren't even born.
And
yeah,
that,
I wasn't. But I could still buy it on eBay.
What's
right?
King-
missing
Yeah,
out.
you pay
Amazon
$100 on eBay. Go have fun with Ram Man.
King Cobra that came apart and he was a snake inside. Or
Yeah.
King, whatever his name was. I lost the pieces, so he's just the snake guy.
I remember like Manny faces.
Yeah.
Like you could spin the top of his head and it would just be like
Yep.
and then battle damage like He-Man where you could
I had
hit
that
his
one.
chest.
It
But
would
then
mine-
it was like it would
and
not
Skeletor.
stay after
right. It
you-
would not stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would just always be battle damaged. You
Yeah.
could never get it fixed.
Mine, actually, I could use my finger and spin it. So I just sat there and spun it.
Sounds like beautiful toys.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Back
We
when
spent way
they
too much
were
time on
awesome.
He-Man.
Articulation was like a 5. There was like 5 points of articulation.
Was there 5? I'd be surprised if
It
there
was
were 5.
one,
Like 3, maybe.
2, and then
The
sometimes
head.
the hip was 3 and the neck was 4.
The torso would move.
The
Yeah.
tor-
And then sometimes you'd have that crunch, so there's 5.
I guess so. I guess so.
He could do. He went to the gym. He could do.
Yeah,
it.
he could
Well,
do
they all
crunches.
went to the gym. They were all ripped.
They were
All I'm saying is with Brand, the one thing I wish I got as a kid was the G.I. Joe, the big battleship.
the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that eluded me. It's like that thing's 7 feet long.
Tell everybody how much it was when we looked it up on eBay.
I don't remember, but way too expensive. And Cat's like, oh my god, stop talking about all these 80s toys.
7,000?
I am ready to move on. We'll talk about 80s action figures another day. But next
Cat
up,
wishes she was born in the
Ne-
80s.
Netflix
Oh,
is
I
already
really
doing
don't.
it very well on the toys.
yeah, they have that show out.
Yeah,
that
it's really good.
I haven't watched, but sure, it's good. Next up is something you know what I'm gonna talk about. Hulu's Howard the Duck and Tigra and Dazzler show was canceled.
Oh, I
Not a
saw
surprise
that.
there.
I wonder why this is
Yeah. Oh.
I triple marked it. It's allowed. And honestly, like I'm not too upset. I didn't really like what it was looking like. So I'm like, if they're gonna do Dazzler, I'm gonna write it. So don't
I
worry.
thought Dazzler was gonna get you very upset because
Well, I remember it was like Chelsea Handler. It was gonna be like a comedy. So I'm like, I don't really want that for Dazzler. I'd rather have it like about music and good. So I'm not that upset. And also that was announced before the whole entire Fox merger. So I'm not surprised by it. I'm definitely more upset about Runaways getting canceled than Dazzler getting canceled.
yeah, that will be.
Yeah.
that
Finally,
was-
Kat understands how we feel when they discuss Power Rangers.
There you go.
We do not
We need
discuss
to
it for
talk
that
about
long.
80s more because I enjoy that more than talking about Power Rangers.
I want to talk about Power Ranger toys.
Jake,
Oh, the Power Ranger toys, like the ones where you pull the.
Oh no, don't
marker and the head
start.
flips
Do not
out.
even
we,
start with
we are
that.
not. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about any more toys.
Or how shitty Hasbro made the White Ranger helmet.
Oh God, don't even.
The only thing I remember from a Power Rangers toy I had is that you could crunch their legs and their head would flip.
That's the
around.
turbo one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was cool.
I had that. And then this is a long story. I'm not going to break this up. I'm just going to say I was older. I was maybe like 5th grade or something. And like a 1st grader,
Older.
one of my Power Ranger toys. I was very, very upset. And to this day, I have a grudge against him. I don't know him anymore, but I still have a grudge that he stole my Power Rangers toy. But next up, the last topic is JJ Abrams Bad Robot takes over Justice League Dark and doing other DC projects, it looks like. I mean, I don't care. I don't care. about
I've
Justice League
dropped
Dark.
Justice League Dark long months ago, so that's why I didn't mark
This
it.
is a movie now, not
Yeah.
a
Oh, it's
comic.
a movie.
Yeah. This is in the media section, Michael.
I mean, JJ Abrams' company is they're good at what they do. So if anybody's gonna do it, I have faith in them overall.
I would like Del Toro though, because like that's kind of was more in his wheelhouse. So that's disappointing that fell through.
I agree with that, but at the same time, it's like there's very few things of Abrams I haven't enjoyed. So, I'm positive about it.
Yeah, and that's all the news. So we're gonna move into some comic books, and I'm actually curious about Michael's Under the Radar. So
Why are you curious?
Because where else it falls on our little list here?
it's something you didn't like, it seemed like, but it's also something you really want to promote.
Well, no, it's just
I
something
love
that.
this piece of garbage.
No, I was gonna do the other thing, but Chris took it away.
You do Red Sonja.
Chris stole my Under the Radar.
I'm sorry that Ghostbusters is better.
Red Sonja is not in big books anymore. Put it on your Under the Radar.
Did you like Red Sonja?
We're in Under the Radar now, and there are going to be spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Be aware of that spoiler alert that's going to be showing up sometime. Yeah, right there. Spoiler alert.
We really got to get rid of that background one because I always got us up with that.
It's like, what's going on?
Right.
Well, it's like really easy to just like click delete.
I don't
right there. Delete overlay. Gone.
Now Brent deleted it, so there you go. I guess there's permission given.
All right, so what's under the radar? So my book that I want to talk about for Under the Radar this week is Conan Serpent War, issue number 4.
Had a chance to change it to Red Sonja.
No,
It is-
listen.
No,
it's his segment. He can do whatever he wants.
It's the last.
Fine, I don't care anyway.
The other reason,
It's the last issue, and you put it on the chopping block.
It's the last issue. Wait a minute. How are you chopping the last issue? You are not allowed to
Well,
chop
I mean,
that.
technically,
Not
he is. So,
No, because you can't pick it up anymore because there's
You
no
can't. It's not even in existence after this issue.
Okay, no one. All right, why do we have to get all hysterical?
No chopping for you.
uh,
All right, well, whatever. Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now,
Jeez, everybody's jumping in on me like doggy pile.
dog pile,
like
yeah.
that character from He-Man. He's jumping so high. Anyway,
Ram Man.
All right. Well, anyway, so the thing about this issue is that it was a little bit too much all over the place. Like it started with the Slaw Sonja, who is like the great serpent. They were like talking about stories of how it like was controlling and whatnot. And we only get a little bit of action where Conan's in it and fights off against I forgot what the name is. Like, there's so many names that were in this book. I could barely remember anything of it. But yeah, they were facing against the Worm, or counted as W-Y-R-M. No, it was spelled W-Y-R-M, and it was like a big worm. No, really.
I believe it. I believe it. That's the thing. I believe it.
Yeah, and then the sword that was given by Spectre, because Spectre was the one who made the appearance in the book, was the only thing that could strike the beast. Was a magical sword. So everyone went back into their place and time, and
Harry Potter all over again.
Yeah,
what
basically.
Michael's trying to say is that if you're not picking up Conan, this is Under the Radar. So
well, wait, hold on.
Last issue.
By the way, it's over.
Back by the whole thing.
We're just messing with you, Michael.
But wait,
There's more. But wait,
there will be a new beginning.
a new beginning.
So that's the whole teaser.
So that's what.
We lost Mike. I was like, I can't take this anymore.
I don't
Ran
know
Mike off, Michael.
I don't know about getting it. Just the issue was no good, and artwork was meh, in my opinion.
Yeah. So you read better Conan books, you're saying?
Pretty much.
Okay.
He's read better Conan books. The chopping block is on issue 1 of the new series that he hasn't read yet.
Yeah. Now let's go to Chris's Under the Radar that he stole from
The
me.
best book ever that Mike, you missed out on, buddy. We've got the thing going on again, Brad, for a little bit.
Oh, okay. We're doing this again.
Ghostbusters Year 1, Issue 1. I loved it. We have the Ghostbusters from the actual.
You missed it, Michael.
Series. Yeah,
I did too.
Michael. I loved this first issue. If you are a fan of Ghostbusters, you need to read this series. A perfect prequel to the actual comic series. It starts off with Winston, which I think it's really good and cool that they started with Winston instead of the original, the very, very, very first 3, because Winston was the last one to join the group. I like how it started with him and his background before he was with the Ghostbusters, and then what made him want to try the Ghostbusters to testing out the weapon. Literally, it took what, a 15-minute training, and they're like, "Yeah, you're ready. Put it on. We got it. We got a thing we're gonna go do." And then he goes on his first. Sorry about that. Sorry. So then he goes out on his first ghost hunt, so to speak, and the rest is kind of history. And you also see that the ghost he hunted was watching him possibly during this interview. I'm curious to see where this series is going with these interviews. I'm wondering if there's more to what's going on than meets the eye. Michael, since you had a wonderful Under the Radar, would you like to add anything to Ghostbusters?
To be honest, I really liked the Winston story with the interview. I mean, it gave us more of the expansion of what we didn't see in the movie, which actually brings us more of a better perspective of Winston. But I really enjoyed his character in the story, and I really thought it was an enjoyable read.
I agree with Real Manos. It's good that they did it in the comic, because if they cut it out of the movie, he had some really cool background. So definitely check this book out. I might actually get this in trade. I'm reading it digitally right now, but I might get the trade when it comes out for this series.
Cool.
All right. So, Bram, what's your Under the Radar?
Mine is Deja Thoris #2. I've really been enjoying this new series. It's all about her. John Carter's nowhere to be found. They've kind of hinted around that they're not together, or he's just not around anymore. And somebody has taken power from the Deja Thoris line. So there's some other ruler of Barsoom, and they are going after Deja Thoris's family. And so you've got her granddaughter involved and everything, and they're trying to prepare for the worst because they're about to be assassinated and taken out. So it's interesting seeing them fight back from the underside now and trying to find allies where they can. The art's really nice as well. So I think you would actually enjoy this one, Michael.
I'm sorry, what was it again? I'm
Deja Thoris.
Oh yeah, you know something? I was gonna read that book, but I didn't have the time this week.
Yeah,
actually.
You should check it out. I know you like the whole John Carter.
Because John Carter and Deja Thoris. Don't give me that. You know I was busy. so you quiet up there. All right. Since Kat went somewhere, Mike, what's your Under the Radar book for this week?
Mine was actually the conclusion to Vampire State Building.
So you're dropping that book then?
Yeah, it's on my chopping block now. So
I need to read the other 2 issues, actually. I missed them.
So the final issue just has to do with, obviously, the vampires, obviously how they die. And, you actually had some good character moments in this particular book and whatnot, which is good. I'm not going to give it too much away because they are releasing a trade for this one. So all as I can say is, since there are no more issues that are coming out and you want to check out Vampire State Building and you did get a chance to get your copies, I would say go ahead, pick up the trade. It's coming out soon. I think it's hardcover, and it's not going to cost you that much. It's only 4 issues. So, and it probably has some extra art in it and things like that. So, yeah, I definitely going to say recommend that. It was a good story.
All right, then. So, Kat, what's your Under the Radar book?
Mine was Family Tree issue 3. Which is actually kind of a quick read, but I really enjoyed this issue. And if you're not reading this book, it's a really well done family book. And in this issue, the girl who's turning into a tree finds her father in this kind of tree thing, like world, I guess, a root. And
so they are Groot.
They all Groot. They're all part of Groot's family. And yeah, it was interesting to see because, the family thought he was a deadbeat, and we found out he was just really a tree. So,
but really, you're just a tree. That's okay now.
He's still an okay guy, or being. But yeah, I thought it was a really well done issue.
Gender, he's a tree.
But yeah, I agree. It was really a fast read, and there was just the whole dream thing, like what you were talking about, was just.
You read the book, Michael?
I did. I told you guys I read Family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he did.
I must have missed it.
No, I missed issue 2. I didn't get to read issue 2, but issue 3 kind of brought me up to speed. Whatever. issue 3 brought me up to speed of kind of what happened in issue number 2, but it was a great issue though. Definitely, I would definitely recommend you guys read that.
The best character is the brother. That kid is
The one
hilarious.
who has nothing
Josh?
to do though.
Was it Josh?
Huh?
His name?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
remember
know.
his
I
name
just
either.
think he's funny because it's like she's like, "Oh, I think my condition's getting worse." That's what the little girl says, and the mom's like, "No, it's okay. We'll find it." And the brother's like, "Yeah, it is. It's getting worse." He's so negative about everything.
I mean, he's honest though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going well.
Show
for
your
him.
back too.
But I don't think the mother wants to know the truth or face
No.
reality.
Well, I think she's trying to make her feel comfortable, or maybe herself feel comfortable too. But it's interesting.
That and
Mhm.
she's so hurt by the father that she doesn't want to admit that it could be something other than him just being a jerk and leaving her too.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, he's a
that's-
tree. He's
Yeah.
not a deputy. He's a tree.
Not a jerk. He's a tree.
He's
That's
a
right.
tree.
Grant.
Me
Just a
father
tree.
was a tree.
What?
He's a tree.
Yes, I know.
Not a jerk.
All right, so that is our under the radar book of growing trees. So let's go on to Mike's segment of the top 5 and books what we're going to talk about for this week.
Yeah, so before we jump into that, Slime had a question. Says, was Family Tree like Marvel's X, where it's some kind of disease? Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's this apocalyptic thing where people turn into trees, and we have no idea why, but we're just really studying this one family, actually this one girl, really, who is turning into this tree. And then supposedly, I guess her father turned into the tree, and now she's having like these nightmares and stuff like that, you know, or she's being sucked into tree world, or who knows, but it's good. It's just so different and weird. I mean, it's totally right up Jeff Lemire's alley, right?
But
Oh,
it's
yeah,
grounded
totally.
somehow too. Like
Yeah.
it's still like a super like character-driven story. It's weird, but it's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, we lost Mike. He
Yeah,
went
Mike
into
got
tree
lost.
It
world.
was too awesome for Mike.
The tree was mighty enough to do something.
He was spelled by the tree,
Oops.
and an ironic twist of fate.
Poor tree.
So now we just sit here in silence till he comes back.
No, we
Okay.
go on to the
Well, let's
top.
meditate. Oh,
He's actually back, so we're good.
Super quick this time.
He's like, no, we can't have dead air.
No,
Yeah,
dead.
no.
I'm not doing it. I'm not
I
doing
didn't
it.
do
it. I'm not doing it.
I'm
We're
not
good
touching
now. I
anything.
honestly, it was probably Mike trying to bring himself in.
You freaking kick me out.
No,
Yes.
Yeah.
we're not doing it. Our
We
hands
did.
are up like we're not doing it.
Dude, it just literally just dropped me. It's like,
That's weird.
whoops, something went wrong.
No,
Yeah, no
Mike,
shit.
too much
You're
Mike.
telling me that.
I noticed when I was doing mine at the beginning of the week, it kicked my phone off almost twice, but it didn't kick my computer off. I don't know. It must be something against phones.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, at least you can have the phone, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Mike makes like a tree and leaves.
Beliefs.
All right. So big books. Yes, this is obviously where we talk about some of the big books that were released this week and our top 5. So once again, we're reminding you there's spoilers. All right.
There's only one spoiler alert, so I just go ahead. God, who's doing that? Who's doing my? Don't you
You're
dare!
welcome.
You jerk! It's
You're
stealing my.
slow.
Don't tell me I'm slow. How dare you?
All right. So the first book we're going to be talking about is Wonder Woman issue 750. I didn't read it like I said I was, and I didn't read it. I just read the
Kept your promise.
I read the 5G part though. That's the one
Okay.
part that I read. Okay.
I-
I think that's the only thing that really matters.
I read
yeah.
that in I tried to get through the lead story a couple of times.
You guys didn't. Oh my god! I read this whole book.
I skimmed it. I
I
skimmed it for you.
Even
Didn't
read
like
yet.
it.
I had
You
no.
haven't read it?
Nope.
It's I honestly I wasn't going to read it, and then because we were going to talk about some of it, I went back and I read a couple of the stories. I couldn't read all of it though. Just I was bored.
I mean, I feel it was the first book I read, so I could get it out of the way. Which is, I don't know. It's sad to say that. Like, why did I buy the book then? I wanted to like this, but I was flipping through it beforehand. Like, nothing looks that interesting, and most of it has to do with the current Wonder Woman story.
Yeah.
So it's
None
like
of us are reading
Exactly.
it.
So
Totally
why-
lost.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't care. I saw the art. I like the art in the book. I didn't read it.
not all the art. Some of the
it
art was
wasn't-
good.
I didn't even get
Yeah.
that far. Again, I didn't read it.
It wasn't a celebration of Wonder Woman like I thought it would be. It's just a
Right.
celebration of like what's going on now. And then we are gonna save the 5G discussion for our topic this week. So we won't delve too much into it here. But yeah, I mean, I didn't like the book. It was lengthy. I didn't even like the 5G part, if I'm being honest.
It's just another example. I mean, every time DC does one of these anniversary issues, it's just not great. But at least with like action and stuff, it celebrated the characters, and this one, like you said, was just kind of, oh, here's what's coming, here's what's going on, and here's a bombshell story just for the heck of it.
Yeah, I was so confused by that. I'm like, why is there two of them, two stories for bombshells? This did not celebrate Wonder Woman, and that's definitely disappointing.
Anything else to say about the wonderful Wonder Woman that you guys did not enjoy?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm over Cheetah. I'll say that. I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
over Cheetah.
I really liked Greg Rucka's run. I do want to highlight Tevia's number 5 because he does comment Wonder Woman only for the DC 5G stuff. So Tevia made it number 5 for 3 pages out of 90. Yeah.
All right. So the next one we're going to talk about is the new number 1 that came out this week, and that was Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1. So we got Al Ewing that's on the book now, and we basically get to see the Guardians on this like what felt like this vacation or time of peace, recovering from all the events that they've been through, just so they can get thrusted into Nova's request here. To try to help him. What'd you guys think of this particular issue? Someone put it on the chopping block, but we'll talk about that later.
I mean,
Help me, Miss Cat.
It was.
I put stuff on the chopping block that I feel deserved to be chopped. So
I gave it a half because I want to see where it goes first. It's Rocket and Peter, which is why I'm really interested in the series. But the fact that they're trying to enlist a new team because the others are kind of not with them at this point. There was the conversation. Rocket was like, "You're my oldest friend," because even Groot was remade, so he might not have all of his memories and stuff like that. I don't know. I was hoping we'd have the original Guardians. I know they mentioned we weren't at the beginning. I don't know how I feel about this team. I really don't yet, because it was like literally the only people that showed up to join the Guardians of the Galaxy.
see, I feel like you've had to read that last series, and I didn't. So
And I didn't either. I only read it towards the very end because of Rocket.
Mhm.
I agree. If you didn't read the last one, you're completely lost as to why the team's kind of broken apart here.
And even the emotional beats, I would say too. Like I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
And I don't feel like they really explained about Rocket being cured. It was just like, he's okay.
Well, it was he had
They
all it was his what is it called by his implants. All they were expired, like they were out of date, and eventually they were starting to kill him instead of help him.
Yeah.
So and all they did was put him in the hospital, and they replaced it all, and he was better. That's basically all it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did read the last one, so some of the emotional beats hit me a little bit more than they would you guys. The stuff with Peter and Rocket I thought was really good.
Yeah.
There was some nice emotional beats there, and I appreciated that aspect of the story, but I enjoyed that last series so much more than this issue. And I'm going to give it, a try, but it hasn't won me over yet. And I agree. It's like without the rest of the team, I like Nova, I like Richard Rider, but I don't know where this is headed yet. And the tone is kind of slow. The pace is kind of slow, and the tone is just kind of a little bit somber. So I'm just not sure what I feel about it yet.
Yeah, I think
I'm in the middle also. I'm kind of like, I'm pulled in two different directions because I like this book. It's in my top 5, but at the same time, I feel like there's so much more I want from it also.
Right. I get that everyone wants that team, that core team. And it goes back to the part where Gamora in the issue basically sits there and says, we can't be, you can't expect us to come and just save the world time after time again. We're a family and whatnot. And I thought that was a good and emotional, impact. And I think we are going to get this team together. I just think it might take a couple issues to get there. And I think some of them are just maybe in denial of what their job is and what they have to do, you know, because this book would not be the same if it wasn't Gamora, wasn't Drax, or Groot wasn't in it, you know. Yeah, you have Moondragon and what's her face, the other Captain Marvel, but eventually I have a feeling that they're going to be in there as well.
Yeah.
All right, any other comments on that?
Good
In the hood. All right. So we're moving on to number 5. Don't mess with me, Michael. I'm hardcore.
No, I'm just saying. I never heard you even say that. Like, it was just. I just said, "Wow, that's a low price."
I just love the low key way you said it. Good in the hood.
All right. Middle West was my number 5 because that's where we're going right now. So I read Middle West and I kind of like Abel's little plan. He's gotten into the group of workers, and no longer is he kind of like this slave. He's been recruited or promoted to the next job, and all his little friends there are like, "How could you do that, Abel? You can't join them." And he's like, "Well, I'm going to get you the fuck out of here. That's why." And it was like, dang, Abel, you're going hardcore, man. So I liked the book. It was a good issue. Another good issue.
It was a solid issue. It wasn't my favorite issue, so it didn't quite make my top 5 this time. But I did enjoy it, and that was probably the highlight of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, man, why don't you just turn into a tornado and just take them all out? Like, dude, come on,
Kill them all.
It just seemed like that. If he did, it seemed like with all that stuff, all that pink stuff,
right?
It would blow up and destroy everything.
Yeah, that's true, and I do like that they showed that aspect of that in this issue, because it's all, we've heard this thread about it, but it's like, yeah, it's just kind of, until you show us that, oh, it drops and somebody catches on fire, you don't really get the impact it's going to have. So.
Right, exactly. So it continues to be a good issue. I feel like this series is really a kind of a slow burn. There's never much story progression to it. Yeah. And I'm just curious, like, how long is he plan on doing this series for, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it feels like we're just getting started.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So Brent, if this wasn't in your top 5, then what was your number 5?
It's kind of a weird pick. Batman Superman number 6, and it's weird for later. And the only reason is because of the stuff that between Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. That stuff I thought was really strong. Wonder Woman's kind of speech to them about are we any better than the villains and all this kind of stuff. I just, all the lies between them and how it kind of broke down their relationship because of what's been going on with the infected and all that. So I thought that was those were some really strong scenes in this issue. Mm-hmm. But the overall story isn't grabbing me. So that's why it's kind of weird that it landed there. But those scenes were strong enough to make it into my top 5 for me.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the Batman Who Laughs, the story I thought was going to really grip because it was outside of what Bendis is doing with Superman. And they found a way in this issue to just incorporate immediately in what's going on in Superman, which was like, gee, thanks for making sure.
Well, just continuity though.
I mean, no, of course you got to do it. No, I knew it was going to happen. I was just hoping it would happen after this arc, but you know, I like the little joke in there about, oh, you're wearing glasses again. He's like, yeah, old habits die hard, and it's like, okay, I like this book. It's also somewhere in mine, not this low, but I want to like this. I really do. I just. It's getting
number 1 pick. I really want to like
not
this
my
book.
number 1 pick. It is not my number 1 pick.
Yeah, it could be so much stronger because there are really good beats in it, you know. But overall, as an overall book, it's missing something.
Well, it's gone on a little too long.
Well, that's why
that particular story.
Like, for sure, what's the point of reading it right now? You
and
know?
I get. Yeah, and I get what Kat is saying there, and I guess that's why obviously you're talking about continuity of this, and that's why Commissioner Gordon is not the commissioner in Batman right now,
right?
Because of that same situation. So I guess I appreciate DC trying to
keep things together or
trying to build a cohesive universe. You know what I'm saying? So that I guess I can give them credit for that. But it's just too little, too late. I think right now.
They need to get Bendis on a couple of books.
We've done, we definitely talked about that.
I'm not going any further than that. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so that was Brant's number 5. Kat, what's yours?
Mine, I think this is the first time it's been on my top 5, is Basket Full of Heads, issue 4, which I love this cover. But yeah, this issue we get to see our main character, play with the ideas. Is she the final girl or is she the slasher in a way where she's slashing these heads for self-defense and these heads are starting to talk to her. And there's an interesting twist with like the town deputy in the end of the issue that our main character gets trapped in the jail. So I like the horror feel to it. I love the artwork for the book. And I think it's finally kind of getting a grasp of what type of story it wants to tell.
Gotcha.
I need to read that issue.
I think you would. Oh yeah, you read the whole
I've been
series.
reading it. I'm only behind this issue.
Yeah, this one's so far the best for me.
Okay.
It's probably not better than Lock and Key.
Probably not.
Nothing's better than Lock and Key.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's on that level.
I finished with number 4.
Oh my God, you're just eating the whole series up.
Same writer though, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
Both of them, yeah.
None of his stuff is Lock and Key though.
Yeah.
It's like he hit lightning, he struck lightning, and then it's
like that hack and slash book. It's like
right.
You always have to live up to your best work. It's like what that does to you.
Right, exactly. Not saying his other work is bad.
I'm still told that his father's Dark Tower, the Dark Tower in the comic line, did really well also in Marvel. I'm thinking about checking that out.
Oh, I thought you meant like, it's going to continue now.
No.
They had that for a long time.
They did the books and then they did like little spin-offs.
I made quite a bit of money off some variants of that back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to move on to Michael. Michael, what do you got?
All right, my number 5 is Red Sonja Age of Chaos, issue number 1 that I wanted to check out. So what this story is really focusing on is the amulet that produces like so much power and it does like lots of things. And we see that Red Sonja throws it away. And then the Mistress Hell, Hell, however you say her name, like she goes to every person saying that with this amulet, it could give you so much power, you can be a god. And some of them said, oh, I'm not that interested, or maybe I'll think about it. And then they like all go after each other, like because it was like displayed at a museum. And then you see them all like just going after each other, like saying like, give me the amulet. I want the amulet, because after they thought about it, the whole being a god thing that got to their heads, that happened. And then we see like Red Sonja, how she's fighting off against some vampire-like entities that were around and killed them. Although someone seems to be after Red Sonja and found her, and it leaves off at that to be continued issue. So it was a pretty okay issue. I really enjoyed it, and looking forward to seeing what the next issue is going to be for Red Sonja.
Yeah, because now that Conan Serpent War is done.
Yep, a new beginning. Let's see how that goes.
But you're cutting it, Mike. You're chop blocking it.
Chris, it's the last issue.
I know. Chop blocking it.
You were complaining. Continue.
We're happy you learned. We're happy you learned your lesson.
What lesson? It's
exactly that one.
If it's a last issue.
Well, it's a chop and block. It could be any book. It could be a last issue. It could be the mid issue. It could be any.
You can't chop a last issue. It's over.
We would do something like this.
Let me ask you a question. If it's a one shot, you can't chop that either?
Yes, you can. Because it's not continuing.
I don't know. Michael lives in technicalities.
What is this?
Not one shots.
What?
One shot? Yeah, that would be a little.
Didn't we go through this one time with
I think we did. No.
With like the top 5, where it was like his number 5.
Oh yeah, that was his
least favorite.
It took a long time.
Oh yeah.
But you're there. Don't worry. You're getting there.
It's over. That's like saying, "Oh, Smallville, I'm chopping it."
It's like I can't watch that weekly anymore. I'm so with that show.
Yep.
Oh, let's just
Told their
continue.
story, in my opinion, and that's it.
Let's just continue, please.
Okay. Serenity was in the hospital this past entire so hopefully you're feeling better, Serenity, and everything is okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Hope you're okay, man.
Oh. There you go.
Hope everything for the better.
Yes.
You get to read some comics now, which is important.
Exactly.
Yep. Comics are the medicine of happiness.
So
All
it cures happiness.
What? The medicine for happiness?
The medicine for happiness.
If you're happy, please read some comics and you won't
Read
be
your comics. Be happy. There is no happiness without comic books.
Chris, what's your number 5?
Guardians of the Galaxy. We just talked.
Okay. All right. So
No
we're gonna
happiness without that.
move on.
Be happy, damn it.
Batman issue 87. What do you guys? I feel like I'm a little lost with Batman.
Is this the one with the art? Wait, is this the one with
This
the
is a
art?
book that we read.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened. Oh, this is the Penguin
This
had
is the one
done.
with the art.
Oh yeah, the penguin thing.
What was
Yeah.
wrong with
Oh,
Batman's chin?
And
What
the
was wrong
Riddler.
with his chin?
Look at
Riddler's
the Riddler.
Riddler's spine. What the heck is
What
going
the
on
hell's
there?
wrong with who's
Yeah.
drawing it and why?
So they're all mutated, and
Yeah.
so we get already a different artist on the second issue.
Yeah,
of
on the
story,
second issue.
right? And so we get a new. Obviously, you see Commissioner Bullock in this one. You get to see a new jail cell. What is it called? The Black Block or something like that. And let me just tell you, this is like a torture chamber for people. He puts them in this like iron casket where they can only see their face, and they breathe through like little holes, like they're like little monsters or something like that, like little pets. It was just like, how can Batman do that? You know what I'm saying? And then how can those prisoners be like comfortable in these things? Like they can't move, they can't scratch, they can't go to the bathroom, they can't do anything. And then Deathstroke's like, yeah, man, I'm cool, I'm fine, no problem. You know, it's just weird. I don't know. I don't get how they could actually all be okay with this. You go from Arkham Asylum, where you have this place where you can sit like in a jail cell and this and that, and then you go to this extreme. I don't know. It's just kind of weird for me. But then I don't get like what's Penguin's MO here, and then who's the person that hired all the assassins?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm interested. I think that's the biggest issue. I'm like, I don't feel invested. The only part I really liked was the Catwoman and Batman talk, surprisingly enough, because I feel like we had so much of them. I actually like them here.
With the chin?
What?
No, I'm not,
Deformed chin Batman?
no, I don't remember what they said, but I remember liking it.
I didn't even read this issue. I did not like the art. I was like,
And Riddler,
no.
who hasn't slept in
Oh, you're
months.
saying the
Apparently.
chin, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
slept in months and apparently got a really bad case of something with his spine.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Chinitis.
Spine
That probably was.
exploderitis.
Maybe chinitis is more likely if you're talking
going on.
about
It's like a
Batman
stegosaurus.
Batman has
I don't know. It's weird.
It's not, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that's it. I don't know. There's nothing really to say.
DC,
Yeah,
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right. It's like I don't know if I want to keep reading this.
I
or
just
waiting
don't
it
think
out.
we don't have enough in
Yeah.
the story. It's just we're kind of just thrown into this whole thing, and it's just but we don't get anything out of it
Yeah.
really.
At the
I'm
same time, I
starting
don't
to
want to drop Batman again.
I'm starting to wonder what's going on with DC Comics because I feel like most of the
You're
DC
starting.
It's not starting. It's been going on now for a while, but we're really starting to make fun of more DC books than actually, enjoy them. And that's what worries me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hopeful by the time we get to the end of this story arc, the pieces will come together, and maybe we'll understand it more.
Yeah.
You just gotta give him time to tell his story. We're only 2 issues in, so he could be starting who knows? He could be doing like a type of Hickman type of style or whatever it is. So,
Took us a little while to get into that.
I'll
right.
agree with Serenity that the Cheshire scenes were good. They were decent.
Yeah, that was kind of cool because it's
was
just
cool.
like she tries to stop him, and then Batman's tech is kind of cool too. He comes into this like bobsled thing,
Yeah.
and then she goes and attacks him, and then it was like, oh, you can't attack me because I'm Batman. You know, it was just like one of those moments. That was kind of cool, but yeah, we need more stuff like that. I think we need more, I guess, character moments, something that's going to make this book
like the Catwoman and Batman moment, just like because it felt like a beat to me.
Yeah.
right.
We'll see.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. It's just, again, it's only 2 issues in. It looks like he's going to be telling the story for a while. So we'll see what happens. All right. The next one is Web of Venom, Good Son. This is the one shot here as it continues the, I guess, after Absolute Carnage. So you get to see what's going on with Norman Osborn's kid and Eddie Brock's kid. And we find out that we get to see a symbiote, a piece of Carnage symbiote that Dylan has kept for himself. And this little piece is basically slowly taking over Eddie's mind. And so we get to see Null, and we get to see Dylan kind of treat Normie kind of badly and things like that. I mean, I thought it was an okay issue. It's just, my thing is that Sleeper was in this issue, and he's like, he finds out that Eddie has or Dylan has this symbiote. He's like, well, we could absorb this and end this all right now. And then Dylan's like, no, I'll tell my dad as soon as he gets back. He's like, okay. So it's kind of like, we could have ended it right there, but you're just going to trust the kid that he's going to be hunky-dory with this whole thing. So I don't know. It was okay, but it wasn't the best thing. But it was kind of cool to see what the kids are doing while Eddie is not in the book. So did anybody else read this?
I think Chris said, yeah.
I liked it. I did. This is a one shot though. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Mini.
Yeah.
I was unclear if I was unsure if it was a mini series or if it was a one shot. I have a feeling this is leading into the next Venom event, which we're going to get at some point in the future. Obviously not right now because Marvel already has like 4 events that they're planning. But I feel like this is going to
stop them.
Well, It
won't stop them to do
another.
another.
Of course,
event.
it won't stop them. No, I mean they said at the end of Absolute Carnage that Cull is coming, and that's going to be its own event. So it's going to be interesting to see where Dylan fits in with all of this and whose side he's going to be on.
Yeah, I agree. I just found it weird though how it's like the symbiote was possessing his hand already and things like that. I just it's like, I don't know if he just doesn't realize that it's bad for him to keep this.
It's Cull, wasn't it? That was who was.
It's Null. Yeah, it's kind of controlling his mind.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what goes on in the future when it comes to these two. So it was all right. All right. So then let's move on to our number 4 book this week. And Michael, I'll start with you.
All right, my number 4 book we already talked about, Ghostbusters Year 1 issue number 1.
Cool. And my particular number 4 book was a book that we already talked about, which was the 3-minute read of Family Tree issue 3. All right. And then Kat, what was yours?
Mine was Vampironica, New Blood, issue 2.
Mine too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I thought it was a really solid read. I liked Kevin's little story in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think they're like expanding the supporting cast members, which is really important. I like Veronica's mom in this issue. So yeah, I think it's moving in an interesting direction and building the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I love learning more about this other guy and his history with Kevin, and the reveal with Veronica's dad at the end, that he's kind of orchestrating this whole thing was interesting too. It's like, oh man, and Archie just being clueless as usual.
Yeah, I love the little Archie and Betty moments where we're like, what's going on?
Right. This is a good series though.
Yeah. It's really under the radar. That's an under the radar series.
Definitely, yeah.
So under the radar, I don't read it.
Exactly. And I don't think anyone talks about it, sadly, but unless you're an Archie fan.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And Chris.
I'm gonna keep this super brief because I'm gonna get Uggs from a few people. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just push through most of the story real quick. I like how Jason's out of it. The Rangers find out about the Omega Rangers. The 3 new Rangers decide to go with Trini and Zach to help out stopping the blue Omega Ranger, who's releasing everyone and wants to destroy all the Power Rangers. Zordon is as awesome as always, like the father figure. But my absolute favorite part was actually one of my panels of the week where Jason finally wakes up at the end of the issue and he's like, oh, so you know. And the entire last 4 panels, Tommy's face. I love this artist because I felt the emotion from Tommy on these last 4 panels where he's like, oh, the Omega Rangers. Oh, yeah, we know. And he's so pissed that it's like beyond how the panels speak for themselves. So I'm interested in seeing where we go now with this Omega Ranger, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I love that Brand's shaking his head. Yes, like he's like, yeah, I felt that too.
I'm trying to be supportive here.
yes.
That's okay, Jack, because when we talk wrestling, that's what you do. So
I've been supportive. That's true. I've been supportive with your wrestling.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm so supportive that I just deleted the banner that Brant made last week post show where I was talking about my belt, and you were like,
I said that's awesome. And then Brand's like, oh, she's not interested. I'm like, no, it was interesting to hear it. I listened to the whole story. And then I saw
you liked it. You just listened to it.
You know what? I
got her.
I was interested in the perspective. Like, it was very exciting to hear you excited. That's what friends
Kat's
do.
getting very open-minded.
Yeah.
She's going to watch Ring of Honor next week.
No.
It's free.
No. I'm not that open-minded.
Yeah,
Going back to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers real quick. I liked it because I thought they did stuff well with Trini. I thought that she had a lot of good beats in this issue. Really saucy.
Oh yeah, I taste sauce.
All right. So everyone did their number 4, correct?
Yes.
I think so.
All right. So then we will push forward to the next biggest issue of the week. That one was Superman, issue 19.
And this is the part where I sit back and let y'all talk about this piece of garbage. I mean,
I'll shake my head. Yes.
I ain't reading it. I looked through it, but I don't care.
I liked it.
Superman
I support you, Brant.
So,
go ahead, Mike.
Superman issue 19 was basically a
wow, Cat just left.
Basically a continuation of.
I was blowing my nose. I didn't want to do that while you were talking.
Cat today has got dishwashers going on. She's got dryers going on her nose. It's like
ice machine.
So much chaos.
You know.
You guys missed the washing, the laundry.
Go up.
There's so many things to talk about that I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
Okay. So back to Superman. So this was basically a continuation off of the Truth story. And I liked that until it ended. And then once it ended and it said, oh, I have a bunch of friends that can tell me the truth. And then it goes to this weird thing where he's off planet and then he fights Mongol out of nowhere.
Like, I just had a thing with Mongol. It was in one of the issues.
Yeah, Mongol. I wasn't crazy about seeing Mongol. I think it was like some kind of United Planets thing that they were trying to do. Yeah,
but it changed the whole tone of the issue.
Yeah, I agree with that. If it was like a 1-page like little teaser thing or something like that, it would have been better. Yeah.
So what you should have done is extend the Truth story to the very end of the book and have that 1 page, or you made the truth story just an extra sized issue from the last issue.
Yeah.
Don't bring this like halfway through and put some cheesy 2-page spread going. I have friends that tell me the truth, and if you want to see more of this, buy what was it? This hero Superman one shot. Yeah, whatever it was. Like, come on,
Superheroes one shot. Yeah,
and he's writing it, right?
One too. They have the heroes and the villain. Heroes, I believe, is coming out
the following month. Cat. The one shot's the following month.
Yeah, but they're still both coming out, right?
Oh, absolutely. Of course they are. Bendis needs to make money.
I think he's making the same amount of money he's making for
yeah.
Oh, he has a salary, but he just wants to do all these books.
Yeah, I might people pay him to ruin things, and then they fix it and make it all better again when he leaves.
But the truth story in and of itself was really good.
Yes, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I'm saying it for Chris's benefit too. It's like they had this whole scene of Perry firing him because that's what he's got to do, but then hiring him back as, you know, his total self, which I thought was really touching. And you had this
hired. You hired.
Yeah, I know.
Hired, but I'll hire you again as Superman.
Nice, sweet moments between Clark and Lois, and because because he was basically dishonest. He was
but that means he has to fire him completely. Why would he rehire him?
Because he rehired him as whatever he wants to. What he has to, he's like a complete person now. He's like a different person.
You could have done that, not getting fired.
But is he still going to be a news reporter?
I think, yeah.
He gave him a full-time position at the Daily Planet.
He didn't have a full-time position before?
No, he was just he was like a beat reporter, I guess.
What?
Because he was offered his own office and things like that, and
but he said he wanted to keep his cubicle. It was kind of
always also have a cubicle back in the day. He's still a full-time reporter if he's a beat reporter. I'm sorry.
I know, but I don't know what the technicalities of all that is. But the thing is that legally he had to make a show of firing him, according to all the lawyers and everything that were standing outside the door. That's what it was basically a show for all that. And then he was hiring him back as whatever he wants his byline to be, but he can't write quoting a source. He has to basically be himself now.
So he can write Superman stories.
But he just can't quote Superman as a separate being now. He has
my God. I gotta take some. I'm sorry, guys.
And he can't be late. He can't
be late because super speed.
I gotta take a sidestep. If you
that's so Perry. Okay, that I feel like is so Perry. You have super speed. You can never be late. That is totally.
But I feel like if you're reporting, you can't add yourself in your own story. That's ethically wrong.
I want to write stories about myself. I'm going to write to Perry White. I want to write.
So basically, I think he's got to do more op-ed then, right?
He would not be able to write about Superman, I would think.
Well, he's got to write from the perspective of Superman instead of about Superman.
Yeah, okay. I think that's something he could do, but I don't. We'll see.
I won't be. I'll be waiting. I'll be here.
No, I mean I won't be seeing. I'll be here. Serenity says, I think it's about the integrity of journalism because you have to be 100% truthful so people can rely on you.
Right.
He still did all the stuff he did, though, even if he was hired / fired.
Up on this conversation, he's like,
I am done.
We fired Mike, and we're going to hire him back in a minute. That's what happened.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't read the book, so I can't say too much, but just from what I'm hearing, guys, I'm just like a little antsy about it.
Yeah.
I'll wait till Bendis leaves.
Bernie says you can write about yourself, just do op-eds like celeb. Well, yeah, I was talking more about like what he used to do, which was news reporting, and he can't write.
You can just talk like The Rock too. You know, The Rock says
The Rock's a reporter now.
The Rock is going to be a reporter. Good God, no! Oh man, that's worse than Hulk Hogan joining TNA and ruining it completely.
Because those things are comparable.
Cat just like hard nodded that one.
I know. It's like, oh god.
Hey, Brett, you went wrestling there. The wonderful experience with Impact Wrestling last week.
No, let's not talk about that
Joey
at
Ryan?
all, ever anywhere.
Joey Ryan and the penis flip.
Please, I don't want to talk about this.
That sounds like an interesting episode of wrestling.
It was something.
It was something I saw, and I wish I had.
Oh, I hate
Joey
love
Ryan,
Joey
people, if
Ryan.
anybody out there knows. Yes.
Anyone who knows Joey Ryan, you
Uh,
already know from the name alone.
Michael has the
You know-
DVDs.
You know that guy,
No,
Joey.
Michael does. I was trying to get him to take the DVD.
I know.
No, I will not. No, I'm not taking
I don't
it.
blame
No.
you. I don't
We
blame
should
you.
make it a trend to try to pawn it off to friends and have people sign it. No, I didn't want this.
No,
Send it to
no.
another friend. And see how many signatures on Joey Ryan's penis party would end up.
You missed
That's
that.
what Mike
Finally
comes back
kept it.
Yeah, you missed that.
What is
Mike,
talking about now?
don't
You
ask.
don't want to know.
Not ask.
I don't want to talk about it.
I was trying to be supportive of his wrestling
Oh,
love,
my
and then you
goodness.
went there, and
No,
I'm like,
we're talking about wrestling again.
yeah, somehow.
It's not me. I didn't do it.
What do you mean you didn't do it?
I'm the resident wrestling guy, and I'm not even talking about this stuff. It's kind of funny.
All right, so we're moving on.
I know you got the belt. Don't even look over there at your belts. I know you
I
got
don't have
the
a
belt.
TNA belt. I don't want a TNA belt unless we do what we were talking about. Then unfortunately, I'm going to have one.
He's going to be the champion of everything when he buys these
Moving
belts.
I'm the
forward.
champion of everything.
Please.
No, you're not.
Moving forward. No more TNA.
Good, because it's not TNA anymore. It's called Impact Wrestling.
My God.
No, but seriously. Let's
Number
hit
three.
comics. Well, I'm done.
Number three.
Number 3.
Okay.
What?
My number 3 was Batman Curse of the White Knight, book 6. Since it doesn't go by issues, it just goes by book. So
It goes by book?
Yeah, it
It
says
goes by
book.
issue.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
it
a
is,
book.
but it says book on the cover.
That's weird.
What it is.
It's fancy. It's Black Label, you know. So I like this issue because we actually get to see the supposed death of the Joker and Jack Napier, and guess who pulls the trigger? Harley.
That was
She's the one-
good.
Yeah, she's the one that kills him.
Moment.
I don't know if they're trying to get Harley and Batman together in this universe, though. It's kind of feeling that way.
Yeah, isn't that weird? It kind of feels that way a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do it, but
She had a thing where she's like, yeah, I fall for people in masks and crazy people. So it's like, you know.
which I wouldn't mind in this universe. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, people have anyone else.
One thing I do like in this one though is Barbara is not taking being paralyzed or hurt, sitting down. She's actually trying to walk again, or she is.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. And again, we don't know if she was completely paralyzed because she's on
Right.
crutches and able to walk herself. So I think it's going to be more of like she has to take time to
heal.
walk
Right.
again and heal. But yeah, I like the little parts we got to see with Barbara. I think we're going to see a little bit more of her next issue from the preview. But I don't like the Azrael stuff. That's why I didn't make my top 5. I was so bored by that stuff. It took it till the end for me to really get into the issue.
Yeah, well,
Azrael
obviously
was
that's
the
what it's
beginning.
about. It's about the history of
wish
the
it wasn't.
families.
The part that I don't like.
So I thought it was entertaining. So it was good though. So we'll see what happens with it. What was there? 8 issues of this?
Yeah, I think.
No,
Ending soon.
7. Is it-
7.
There's
No,
2
I
more
don't-
issues. What issue was this? This was 5,
Book
Oh, no,
6.
6, 8.
Yeah.
It's 8. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Michael.
Number 3 book was Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 38. What I liked about this issue, like where it starts off with Nora Winters shows Jonah like something called Threats and Menaces, was it called? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
I think so.
And it's like where all the young it's like where all the young people are, and then we see
It's
that
basically their TMZ.
right, and then we see that Spider-Man.
Or actual regular reporting, you could say what you will, but
Yeah, and we see like Spider-Man who robbed the bank due to like the Shield mission that was going on, where it's top secret that no one could talk about from what Teresa said and all that stuff. So, and then we get like Chance who introduces Farner to like all these news media pieces and all that stuff, and then
All that stuff.
and then that it was top secret, even though JJ Jameson was trying to help Spider-Man because he knows that he's Pete Parker after all. He actually exposed of why he was doing what he was doing, and then just to get into the whole whatchamacall, like to get all the popularity and stuff like that. And Teresa didn't seem very happy about that.
Clicks to get that money.
My favorite line in the book was the end where he's like, my former worst enemy is now making my life worse.
Yeah, like she's trying to help out.
That's why it's worse. He's trying to help.
He's actually trying to help. It's the worst thing ever.
I thought this issue was back to where I like this series. You know, it was a lot of fun. And like, I love the journalism stuff, of course. But yeah, I just loved all of that. I just loved J. Jonah Jameson a lot in this issue.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I was just gonna say real quick. I enjoyed the explanation of the reason for clickbait and all that stuff. He made total sense with it. And it's like at first you're like, it's that's all it is, and then it's like, oh wait, that actually makes sense. That's kind of cool.
And that's why it's called breaking news because of all that. But
it
was a very good.
Oh, go sorry, Michael.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it was a very good issue, and I can't wait to read part 2 breaking news to see how this is going to escalate.
Yeah, what I liked about this issue, I don't think Nick Spencer was a journalist, but I know he was a politician. But yeah, what I liked is that it felt like a real commentary on journalism. Like I think a lot of times, especially now, it's like a hot topic to talk about it. Like you can see where it comes from. Like, I know I really want to commentate about this. This is like an actual story I want to tell. So I thought they did a really good job at not pressing a hot topic and actually having something to say.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, this is a fun issue.
Yep, and that's all I gotta say.
All right.
Have a dog on top of a desk.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh yeah,
Jonah's reaction to just basically this generation of offices. It was hilarious.
It's great, but it's good to see a J. Jonah, issue where it was just like he's always been known as like the kind of like that thorn in Spider-Man's side, and most recently he's been trying to help him, but he's always like in the way. But now you really got to see like his character in here, but then at the same time you get to see how he was actually idolized, like how he's the pioneer of journalism. And even though it's done in a modern way, it's just like people all looked up to him, including including Nora Winters. So that was great. And yeah, like you guys already discussed about the interaction with the millennials was absolutely hysterical, so. And
not only the pioneer of journalism, but also the pioneer of clickbaiting, which is quite hilarious.
Yeah. So great issue overall. I can't wait to see where they go with this. They keep pushing that freaking Teresa Parker bullshit.
That was the one downside about it.
Yeah. They want her to succeed so badly,
They could just give her a good story if they want. That's it.
Right.
Or they'll give her her own solo.
Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised actually. But depending on it, like if I could see Kelly Thompson write a Teresa story, I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how this goes. Tom Taylor.
That might be good.
And seeing Chance in there, when was the last time we've seen that guy?
I know it's been a while.
It's been a long while.
Yeah. But I like the betting part too, like how you can bet for these, for superheroes, like you can bet on anything. Like he said, oh yeah, you can bet on the amount of twips, that Spider-Man can have. I thought that was
I'm excited to see where that goes. I don't know if you guys saw Uncut Gems, but it reminded me of that movie, and it's a pretty good movie if you haven't seen it.
I have not seen that.
It's good stuff.
Cool. All right, so that was Michael. That was your number 3, right?
Yep.
All right, so we'll go on to Chris.
Batman, Superman, already talked about it.
We'll go on to Fowler.
Superman number 19. We already talked about it.
Number 3, huh? So high for that one.
It's all for that first part. Not so much for the manga part.
Kat, what's your?
Go ahead.
Oh, you go. No.
I was just gonna say I wasn't in love with my books this week, so.
Well, I love Power Rangers.
Oh, sit back. I'm sorry.
I'm being supportive.
Yes.
Like rock and roll.
Yeah, now you're just at a rock concert.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about all those already, so we're going to move on to our next books. We talked about Batman Superman issue 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about a book that actually like had some wow factor here.
There was. On Girl Kitty.
Okay, and Marauders issue 6. So in this book, we have Sebastian Shaw, who finally exposes his full plan to get rid of Kate Pryde, so he can have that seat in the council and try to get an extra seat on top of it. And so he throws in a bunch of Krakoan seeds, and basically the branches wrap around her legs and she can't phase through it because she's not considered a mutant. And basically it shows her drowning at the end of the issue. And if she's not a mutant and if she can't go through the Krakoan portals, then that means that she can't go through the resurrection protocol either now, can she? Yeah. So what's next for Kate Pryde? Any thoughts, theories, ideas, suggestions? What do you think?
Hopefully not death.
Namor's gonna save her.
I don't think that. He's attacking in another book.
I could see Emma coming to the rescue because she's the only one that's not there. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, just gotta bring up that chip a little bit more. There'll be more kisses on the cheek if that happens. But yeah, no, I
maybe moving a little bit more east at that point.
But yeah, I enjoyed this issue, but I didn't like the beginning of it. I hated the fight, but the ending was interesting, and I am curious what's gonna happen with the mythology of Krakoa. And like you said, like, why is Kitty not a mutant? Like, why is she not considered a mutant and all that?
Yeah,
so, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was in this issue or was it referenced that she was half mutant or something. I thought that was. I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't think that can't be possible.
I know.
Did that?
Well, unless she's like a new type of mutant. I don't know.
How is she a new song? She was part of this.
I know, that's what I'm saying. She's been around for a long time, but maybe like that bullet did something to her in space. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe Sebastian did something to her and we just don't know it yet.
Yeah, but then maybe because he knew a lot about what was going on. But I'm hoping with this book is it's about Kitty's identity, because like I always say, she has a very hard time figuring out her identity and who she is. So I hope that this is all a metaphor for that. And it'll be really cool if it is.
I feel like Kitty Pryde has now been everything in the books, from a rock roller to a ninja.
Well, that's what I love about Kitty, though, is just because she just doesn't know who she is, and she's trying to be everything but herself, I would say. So,
how many near? I'm sorry, Kat.
No, go for it.
Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Kind of did, so don't worry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, how many near-death experiences does she have to have before she figures it out?
Well, that's my issue too. And then, like, my biggest issue is like the wedding, right? Like when she had the wedding, is like you would think she would have some big revelations after that, and she didn't. And that's why I'm hoping with Marauders, like this is her breakdown. I've always said that, like this is just her, just like not giving a shit, and then in the end, oh, that's why I didn't give a shit, you know. But we'll see like where that goes, but I think there's so much potential to find, like, to explore this like 30-year journey for Kitty that they've never actually had the guts to explore.
Yeah.
You think Lockheed can actually save her?
Well, I don't know. Somebody needs to save him right now.
they were just he was tossed over in just the net, you know what I'm saying? You would think he could break out of that.
Maybe, yeah. Hopefully, so surely somebody's going to rescue her. I mean, she can't die and then not be able to come back. That's just.
She sat in a bullet for 10 years almost.
I know, right?
Yeah,
that wasn't the real Kitty. That was just a clone. That's why she's not a mutant. And that's why she can't go through portals. And that's why she can't get resurrected. There it is. Bam.
I'm pretty upset if that happened. She was a ghost for a little while after she did that bullet thing. So that was interesting. We do have some comments here. First, I'm going to do the Kitty ones, and then I'll go back to the Amazing Spider-Man ones. But Serenity says in the 80s, Kitty was a ghost for a time. Yeah, she was a ghost in the 2000s too.
Yep.
So it could be that. I also took the comment of half a mutant as just an insult, not a factual thing. She can't go to Krakoa, so you're not a real mutant. I'm still sticking to the theory to Emma is manipulating the whole Kitty. Go to Krakoa. Oh man, that sucks.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah,
like maybe
that would be interesting. Yeah,
maybe it's not like maybe it didn't deny her. Maybe it's a mental block, and she just thinks it's denying
No.
her.
No romance for them then.
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
she's
poor
using
Cat.
her. She's
that
a
would be
user.
interesting.
That kiss is going back to the West.
But
Yeah.
see,
I love
I like that
That-
theory though.
that's
Yeah.
her personality, though. She would do
Totally.
something like that.
I
Totally.
love Emma for such. I thought she changed.
No.
Human will
Emma
never
Clark
change.
is
Never really changed.
The zebra never changed his stripes.
Man, please, Emma, please don't do that. Don't do that to your wife, Kitty. Oh, am I moving too fast?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It was just a kiss on the cheek, Cat.
No, they're married. Slime Max, what makes her annoying? Oh, this is Teresa. What makes her annoying in Spider-Man? I didn't mind her at all in Spectacular. I think it's just that they're trying to like use her and not know what to actually do with her. sadly.
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
just
that's
like
the thing.
there, and there's no real important role for her.
Yeah, she just comes into his life and just like messes it up for no apparent reason. It's just like, oh, I need your help with this thing. I don't care what it's going to do to your reputation. You got to do it. It's just like, what the? Okay, sure. Yeah.
It's like I'd rather see Aunt May go into battle than Teresa.
Oh God.
I mean, they both could help each other out. You know.
Yeah, maybe.
They could do so much more emotional beats with her too. Some more character work.
With
with
Aunt May
Teresa.
or with Teresa?
No, with Teresa.
Aunt May.
Yes, with Aunt May.
Into the mix. She was a
Yeah, Aunt May
One
was
of Aunt May's
killed.
theories.
so
All
much
about her.
beats.
Peter, where's your wheat cakes? You got to eat them.
Her day-to-day life. We're just a day in the life of Aunt May. That's the one
I
shot
would
coming.
watch it. I mean, you have a Gwen Stacy miniseries.
Yeah.
Why not a Aunt May
You
miniseries?
just need to have Aunt May finally know that he's flipping Spider-Man at this point.
And then
I
she
think
dies.
again, that would be good.
And then she has a heart attack and dies. That would be awesome.
Oh, your Spider-Man actually, her finding out that he's Spider-Man gives her the heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then it undoes the contract, and Pete and Mary Jane are married again. The end.
oh, man.
Undoes the whole thing in one
Poor
shot.
Aunt
Then
May.
there can be more dancing.
There
Poor
can
Aunt
be.
God.
I hope their wedding is all just a dance. It's
Yeah.
a dance in the
whole
whole
issue.
issue.
I would not buy
That
that.
or have Jonathan Hickman write it and put all the charts in. That's all you need. Charts.
man, that'd be
Lots
nice.
of charts.
So the
Seating
whole-
plan, the seating plan, the layout of the church, the layout of the hall.
To see that. I would actually like to see the wedding plan of the wedding.
They would
Better-
make an escape route for Peter
Escape route
to
for
become
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Better yet,
Yeah.
have Scott Snyder come over and they team up on it. Scott Snyder and Jonathan Hickman.
Some
Oh,
extra
great.
shit.
Unending dialogue and charts.
Exactly.
Marvel, make it happen. We won't buy it, but make it happen. Actually, we probably will buy it because it's Spider-Man and it's a wedding and it's his
Oh, I
wedding.
would buy it. If it's just charts and it's all MJ and Peter's wedding, I'll buy 3.
Oh, Marvel, you know that Cat will buy it no matter who writes it. So go ahead and get Rob Liefeld to do a.
It could be just white pages, and I will buy the issue. And then
Just
I'll
white
draw my
pages.
own story. I'll draw it. Slime says, well, that's originally why Peter doesn't want to tell Aunt May that he's Spider-Man. He legit says he's worried you know. I mean, I feel like that was out of like, not like legit, you know, it's just like, oh no, like she's old, you know. We can't have
Can't put that
All
on
right.
holding at me.
Was it my wheat cakes that turned you into Spider-Man?
Yes, Aunt May.
Yes,
It was.
it was all your wheat cakes.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should have eaten. Didn't eat our own.
I never did like those wheat cakes.
I'll never get over all of the variant covers of those.
What if he was
wheat
to
cakes.
say, Aunt May, I don't want your freaking wheat cakes anymore. I want some chocolate chip
That-
pancakes.
That's what gives her the heart attack. It's like, you don't
Yeah.
like my wheat cakes.
I mean, also, she's just trying to be healthy, you know. That's why she survived all this time is because of the wheat cakes.
That's right. Right, Michael?
Yeah, Michael, you
Those
look like he looks so engaged. I mean, he's
I know,
literally
right? He's like,
I'm listening.
yeah, no.
about your wheat cakes on me.
All right, so let's move on to number 2. And so, speaking of wheat cakes, my number 2 was Amazing Spider-Man
Mine
issue
too.
38. No, that's funny. And Michael, number 2 is Conan's Serpent War.
No,
If it is, I'm gonna throw a chair.
no,
It's
it's
not-
a book,
Number one.
That's the number one, yeah.
no, it's a book we already talked about. Family Tree issue number 3.
Ooh,
That's
another one
mine,
we talked
actually.
about.
That was mine.
Wow, Mike, you
Right.
Oh,
got
yeah. And Chris.
Batman Curse of the White Knight.
Sweet. So we talked about all those. And so we're going to move on now to, let's see, next book that we're going to talk about
We
is...
talked about them both.
Yeah, we did talk about them both.
Number one.
Number one, and my number one is a book we just talked about, Kate Pryde, Drowning.
Ah,
That's Marauders issue 6.
Just that part.
What's that?
I said just that part.
That's just that part. That's it. So what is yours, Kat?
Mine was Amazing Experiment. We already talked about it.
All right. Brant?
Once and Future, issue number 6.
No, I didn't finish reading it.
Oh, you didn't, so I won't say much about it. I thought it was. I'll say this: they teased a continuation at the end, so
there is a continuation. Someone messaged me on my comments when I did my comic book haul, and I said this was the last one, and they said it's continuing. I think in March, actually.
Oh, okay.
I know it sold well, so I'm not surprised by that. Boom tends to do that, where like things sell well. They're like, oh, and ongoing or new miniseries.
Yeah. They did a good job of wrapping up the series, and then they had like some final moments with him and his grand, and then it kind of springs off into, okay, this is what I do now, and then you have an epilogue basically teasing the continuation. So I thought it was a really, really solid ending for it, and I'm excited that it's coming sooner than I probably thought it was. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll finish reading it once I get through Lock and Key.
Yeah,
all
of course. I gotta get through that 5 and 6 volume, man.
Yeah.
My goal is to get there before that show is released.
Oh yeah.
By the time, don't worry, Mike, you're done. You're at the home stretch with these last two trades.
Yeah, you got no problem. You'll get there.
It ramps up pretty good now.
Yeah.
They're good. All right. So Michael.
Number one pick is Red Hood Outlaw issue number 42.
Cool.
This was actually a really great issue. Like, I like how, we have like Jason Todd and Artemis who actually catch up with each other, and Artemis having no clue about what happened with Roy with the Heroes in Crisis. And it was really an emotional scene because Jason's character really, really develops. Like, he's showing more emotion, and he's not like this badass person like he was before, like how he didn't really care about anyone, but his character actually really developed more in the issues that keep coming out, and I really saw that in the issue. We also see about the Generation Outlaw, which they just seem to have something up their sleeve about killing Bizarro, maybe, or have some plan of knocking him out, or so to say. And that's really just to be continued. This was a really great issue and great artwork. I really just enjoyed it.
Cool.
All right, cool. Glad you liked it.
I considered picking it up, but I flipped through it and I didn't like the art.
And you said no.
Yeah, I pretty much said no. Plus, I hadn't been reading it, so I would have been lost anyway. I just, because they were coming back, Bizarro and Artemis, I was curious about it. But
well, the only reason why they came back is because also Artemis said that that she wants to go look for the mistress, which is also the purpose of them coming back and their objective, which Jason Todd agreed to help her with.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
About it.
All right, and Chris.
Ghostbusters Year One, number one was my number one.
I figured.
One book we do have to talk about before we move on to the chopping block is our title. So
I kind of forgot.
What book are you talking? I don't know what you're talking about, Kat.
I don't know, man. None of us picked it in there though.
It was only
kind of funny.
That should have been our big books.
Let me ask anybody. Let me just ask this: did anybody enjoy Shazam issue number 10?
I mean,
other than the one scene that we want to talk about.
Enjoy is a strong word.
I didn't enjoy that one scene because I didn't know what was happening until I read an article about it. Like, I read the book and I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't know what Kat told us. I'm like, what? Superboy Prime? What are you talking about?
I knew right away who it was. The artist didn't draw him the face right, but when you saw the S that literally he drug his finger through on his chest, I knew right away.
I didn't, but yeah, we none of us have like been super enjoying Shazam the past several issues. Yeah, the art, I don't know.
Why does he show? I didn't even read it, so why does he even show up?
In exposition. It's just like in the middle of the issue with the villains.
They're in.
Yeah. Mr. Mine has him in a cell.
Why?
Just trapped in
No,
a
he's not
cell.
in
We
a
don't
cell.
know.
Isn't that where Shazam is? Isn't that where where all the magical beings that are super powerful locked away? But
Right,
Superboy-
yeah. It's like the magic prison basically, and he's just been there for who knows how long, and he has
weird?
like one little scene where he says, "Wait until you see what I do to Billy Batson." That's basically it. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
like,
It makes no sense because he wants to kill Connor.
So what do you think is the purpose of him showing up in
Doomsday
this
Clock.
Shazam book?
To
What'd
show
you
that
say, Kit?
something happened with Doomsday Clock. That's what I think.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Oh,
It was Jeff Johns wanting to introduce Superboy Prime. I think that's it.
and then I want to answer Tevye with: have you not read? You literally are always on top of Justice League. What was just destroyed in Justice League about a year and a half ago?
The
Source Wall.
Source Wall was destroyed. Yeah. So
That's how he escaped the wall.
I guess he escaped and then got captured and put in magic prison.
Exactly. It
And-
makes perfect sense. It's been
Of
7
course.
We had to find him again after we lost him a year before New 52 happened. New 52 happened, then Rebirth. It was only a matter of time.
Honor now. I don't like so much.
I don't understand the connection to Shazam.
Jeff
I don't-
Johns.
Well, I know, of course, but why? I mean, what's the?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
No clue.
The one thing I liked about the book, I would say, is kind of the family aspect. I like that they're doing that. But yeah, I don't know where this book's going. And the delays didn't help. And now there's no delays, but there's 20 artists on the book. And it's, I don't know.
That's the thing. Now that you've done the whole, we've explored every single one of the magic lands in this short period of time, and now, what do you do with it? With this, you got the tiger making breakfast, and you
Even though
got
I like that scene, but
Serenity comment is exactly what every other reader is going to be feeling. I didn't know it was him, and I didn't care.
Yeah, that's the thing with me too. The only other thing of import that happened in this issue was the wizard attacking Billy's dad.
yeah, and that was a cool cliffhanger. I'm like, oh, we'll see where that goes. That's why I'm like, I didn't hate this book at all. It's just not middle ground for me, but it's also nothing to love about this book.
That's the thing. That's what's disappointing about it, because I want to like it so much more than I do, and it always rides in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go. That's the Shazam talk.
Superboy Prime.
All right, so that's it for regular comics, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Chopping.
Hey, Chris.
It's time for the chop block. And Michael does not have a book he's chopping this week. Mike Spider Slayer.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Superman again. So, based off of what I just read, even though I liked the end of that comic book and a half story, where it's headed, I could care less about a battle that we've seen over and over again with Superman battling Mongol. I really did not care for that, and it just, there's nothing there for me.
Gotcha. And I forgot to mention mine, which I mentioned before, which was a half cut for Guardians of the Galaxy. I need to see more. I'm a little torn on the book right now. I'll give another issue or two. Brant.
Mine, I'll agree with Superman if they're just going into a Mongol story, because I just enjoyed it for the truth stuff. But the reason I said my number 5 was interesting pick is because Batman Superman is a half chop for me, for the reason that I explained. Was I don't know if I'm into the actual story. I just like some of the beats in it.
It's getting close for me. I might chop it. I won't even have. I'll probably end up dropping it. Cat.
Mine was Guardians, just because I didn't follow the previous series, so there's no investment and there was no hook for a new reader. We do have a question from SM Down. Would you rather make a comic you once liked better, or would you rather cancel a comic you read that made you angry about its existence? Make it better. Like,
I'd rather make it better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, canceling. I wouldn't want anything to be canceled if there's a chance to make something better.
Although if I knew a writer that can make it better, I'd rather choose a writer to write the book as opposed to writing it myself. Honestly, I'd rather.
The question being if we would write it. Oh, I thought it was
Oh, that's
kinda
different. Yeah, I thought it was just If
I
you
mean,
could-
I'll take whatever book I can.
right?
I thought you meant just like in.
I feel like I know a lot of people who could write Superman better than me because I feel like I'd be writing it too much as a fan of the character and not justify, doing justice to the character like a lot of other
You could be
writers.
honest about that.
So I would be too fanboy about it, and that would be like one of the first things people point out is whoever's writing Superman is way too much into Superman. So it's like, yeah, no, Dan Jurgens would be the first person I put back on the book, and Tomasi I'd bring back also for another run for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we're spiteful people here to say like, oh, I hate that character. I wouldn't want to have her exist at all. I mean, we've made jokes about it in the past, but I mean, truthfully, we would never feel that way. And if other people enjoy it, then kudos. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm happy about it.
What's that saying? There's no bad characters, just bad writers, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Or just writers that don't know how to write a certain character. Basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get that all the time.
Yeah.
It's what we mentioned with Teresa, actually. It's just like, I mean, for me, it wasn't like, oh, destroy her forever. It's like, it could be interesting to see someone else write her and like have a different direction for her.
Yeah.
And it's also opposite of some people enjoy books that we don't. I don't like Superman. Brant likes Superman. Mike doesn't want to go with Mongo, so he's dropping it. I mean,
yeah, I don't like Conan's Serpent War, so I'm dropping it.
They have to drop Conan.
It's okay. It's over, Mike.
Tevye says like Alpha. Like, I mean, we can make the joke, sure, like Alpha, but I'm sure writer. I feel like you're like, even for Alpha, there's a writer out there that could write him well.
Totally.
There's like, you could go totally PTSD with him, just like everything he went through and how much trauma he's gone through.
You know what? If Alpha came back, I would buy that book.
Just because
I want to see like where he's been, like what's happened to him. Like he just drops off the face of the earth. He still has superpowers, so like
it'd be interesting to see. And then Tevye mentions Carly Cooper. I think there's been times that Carly's been run really well. Honestly,
I agree.
She interacted with MJ. I've really loved their friendship. So I don't think she's a bad character. I think there were times she wasn't written well because fans were upset of Peter's relationships, but bad characters don't exist.
I thought there were even bright spots before Dan Slott actually took Spider-Man over as the full-time writer. I thought there were bright spots with Carly even then. So
yeah.
All right, so that was a child block. I'm moving it now to Brand, most anticipated
key issues.
Key issues. God,
we call it key issues now. Anyway,
put up the damn thing next time before I say anything. So I'll know.
I was trying to get to it. I was on another screen. I'm sorry. Anyway, so TMNT issue 102. I'm looking forward to this because I jumped into the series with issue 100 and issue 101 was just as good for me. So I'm hooked now. I'm excited and I want to see what happens with the Turtles from this point.
I agree. There's a lot going on right now with the humans that have been turned into mutants. You've got Raphael kind of keeping the peace there. You've got Bebop and Rocksteady. You've got the Foot Clan now with Shredder, a newly reformed Shredder, so to speak. Splinter's gone. There's a lot going. And also you've got the fifth Turtle now, who she's getting her own series. So it's going to be interesting to see where the Turtle line goes.
Agree. All right, we got a book that we talked about earlier, ending Go Power Rangers, issue 28.
Sad to see it go.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of slow right now, though. So, again, understand why it's going.
Yeah, I feel like they're getting to the point where Jason, Trini, and Zach leave, and then that's
where to go from
there. Yeah.
So the only the end book that made this list, Captain Marvel, the end, even though there's like 50 coming out tomorrow.
I feel like Captain Marvel is the only promising one that might be good.
Well, it's Kelly Thompson's writing it too.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't matter.
Writing it. That's really the only reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason it even made my radar is because she's writing it, and it's
Have fun with that.
Yeah,
I know, right?
It's the best issue ever.
It is the end for me.
Why release so many at once is my question.
It doesn't take much to beat the end books, okay?
Yeah.
So
that's true. That's very true. So a book that you are looking forward to, Mike, Jessica Jones, Blind Spot, issue 2.
absolutely. I love that first issue. Can't wait for this second one. Love the artwork in this book. Love Thompson's writing on this book, and like I said in the past, she definitely captures the voice of Jessica in this series. So again, I'm looking forward to the second one.
After a lock and key read, you got to get that Purple Daughter trade.
Oh, yeah.
I know, I know. That's next on the list.
Yeah. All right, Hawkeye Freefall number 2.
I'm only getting this because it was like I only have like 10 books this week, so I'm like, I guess I'll give it a
Like,
try.
I'm
Getting it to
Rent for
fulfill
me
an 11
still.
book slot.
Yeah, I'm curious who Ronan is, but other than that, yeah,
But
But that's
we'll see.
it though, right? That's its only hook.
Yeah, that is the only hook. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what else we got. Avengers of the Wastelands number 1. Mike and I know, are interested in this. The whole Old Man Logan timeline. So it's gonna be interesting to see an Avengers team in that world.
Yeah, I think it will be cool. Just seeing Luke Cage's daughter in there, and Bruce Banner's kid, and some random guy that picked up the Ant-Man helmet. So
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I love that whole world. I think you can do whatever you want with it. So that's what makes it fun. You don't have to take it so seriously. It has kind of like that independent comic feel, but yet it's the familiar way of the characters in a way, so it's like best of both worlds.
Hopefully it's more Dead Man Logan than Old Man Quill.
Yes, I agree with you there.
Betty Page Unbound number 10.
Yeah, honestly, just want to talk about it because we did an article on Frontline with the writer, so that was really cool. They reached out to us, which is even more awesome. And tomorrow at 2:00 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be talking to the writer on my channel to talk about his whole entire run of Betty Page, or at least what he's up to now, and the last issue, like talking about spoilers with the last issues. So yeah, it should be fun. So check that out. The link's already made, so you could check out the page.
Very cool. All right, we got Star Wars issue number 2 after a really good first issue.
I completely agree. I can't wait to see where they go with this series.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
My one worry is, I mean, the last time they started Star Wars, the first arc was good, and then everything kind of just went downhill. My hope is that they just keep it, if not on an upward, at least keep it on the same level this time. Yeah. It doesn't go down.
Well, the difference, though, between this one, it's taking place in a really good time period.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of character stuff that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're getting the Darth Vader book that's being released the following week.
Next week. They're doing a signing at my store for that one. I'm like, maybe I should get it just for that.
Because that's going to tie into it also, because Darth Vader's doing with the same thing about trying to get his son to, join the dark side. So you're going to know that that's going to cross over. So I feel like you have to get that one too.
That'll be really interesting if they do it from both perspectives.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Well, where was Star Wars the last arc? Was that between New Hope?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're basically jumping ahead a movie. So we went from New Hope to Empire Strikes Back. Now we're between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So we're not going to see Han Solo for a while. Gotcha.
Right.
Yep.
All right, let's see. We got 2 X books, X-Force number 6 and X-Men number 5. X-Force, man, some weird stuff's been happening in that book. with Wolverine getting chopped in half and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Head.
Yeah. Splish together.
Yep. Same thing with like Domino, how she had to make the decision to either kill or not to kill. And so it'll be kind of interesting now where we go from here. I think we're going to get the revelation of the people that have been behind this whole assassination attempt and to take their Krakoan technology.
Yeah.
The Peacock guy or whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Peacock.
Mr. Peacock. Yeah. The NBC guy.
Yes.
And then X-Men number 5 as well. So
I mean, I'm always excited for that book. I think it's just like always surprises me. And I'll say I've seen something that I'll talk about with you guys after, and I think you guys will be happy because it's something we've discussed on this channel.
Okay.
That is happening in X-Men. So
nice.
Yeah.
We have the penultimate issue of Dial H for Hero, issue 11.
I've been loving that series.
It's so good.
Good. I love it. I'm excited, but so sad for the last issue. And I hope they do something with Summer and Miguel past this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll just pop up more in Young Justice, right? For a page?
Oh man, I hope
Right,
like
that could happen.
everything but that
Let's
book.
put like 15 people on Young Justice now.
We get one one balloon with them, and like
Yeah.
it's real character development.
Right.
Then
Don't
they get lost in time again because Superboy will fall for cat.
Oh, of course.
Thrown away.
Right. That's going to be the theme with Superboy. Is just keep getting lost. Speaking of endings, Justice League 39, Snyder's last issue.
Yes.
I have to echo Mike's yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Even though
it's
I
not,
only read like that pre-series or whatever it was, I'm excited because I am picking Justice League up for the first time in a long time when he's done with that issue 39.
And what's funny is this is the last issue connected to Year of the Villain. So Justice League that started Year of the Villain is ending 2 months early from Year of the Villain.
I don't remember who's writing it after him. Let me see.
I don't remember either.
Oh, it's Vendetti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vendetti's writing it. Yep.
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
And he did good with Green Lantern when after the New 52. He did a really good Green Lantern
He's
series.
good with space stuff, and I guess they've been dealing with space stuff, so
Right.
it makes sense.
They'll probably go back to space right afterwards.
I won't be picking it up then. No space for me.
But will you be picking this up? This last book we had to talk about, Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle number
I am
1.
because again, I have like a small pull list, and it's a Spider-Man book, so
Well,
I'm gonna give it a
I'm
shot.
planning to probably read
Of
it.
course.
I'll
Yeah.
get it
Yeah.
too. Why not? Why? It's like you have to.
I mean, it's the Daily Bugle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm excited for the journalism aspect too, like what they could do with it.
Yeah. So we'll see. And that's it. That's it for key issues.
And that's it for this episode. But before we go, does anybody have something to talk about, Brant?
Yes, I do.
We could do.
I know. I'm trying to bring up the
Oh, would you like me to go to
I'm
somebody
gonna
else first?
screen share. There we
Oh,
go. There we go. So we have a Kickstarter going on right now. We are actually almost 50%. It went up while we were talking here. Yeah. So it's awesome. Secrets of Will Miss issues 1 and 2. You can get
This is like
one.
your highest backers in a first day, right?
Yeah, I think so. We're really pleased with how this is going. We're just like maybe almost 26 hours into the campaign, and we're already up there.
Well, you also did cross promotion for a lot, which was really cool.
Yeah. There's 4 other campaigns we're kind of doing some cross promotion with. They're all great. They're all live right now too. Boston Metaphysical, Diary of Night, Crime Busters, and Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies. If you want to go check those out as well, they're all great campaigns, and they're all really doing really well as well. I think we're all around the same. Like one of them's already funded, and the others are around the same. They're almost like 50% or so. So we're all doing really, really great. And this one, it's a Make 100 project, so we got a cool custom Lego minifig character that we're offering with it. So go check it out. Search for Willamist on Kickstarter. I'll see if I can scroll down to the minifig. There we go. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
So there you go. Awesome. So thanks for checking it out.
All right, Mike, I saw your hand. What?
Yeah, so I will be on my Dear Arcade channel. I will have a video that will be posted tomorrow afternoon at 12:15. For those of you who are Super Smash Bros. Ultimate fans, I did the 5th and final DLC character of Violet, if I said his name right. So definitely go.
Him and her, don't forget that.
Yeah,
Super-
and I also did a very cool idea after I did a review of the characters, so definitely go check that out.
Yes, we know. Before, at the very beginning of the show, we said you were busy editing. That's why you weren't here. You had better things to do.
Well, I had to upload, and yeah.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to mention before we go?
I already mentioned my thing.
Okay, so as always, boop, don't forget to leave Mike leaves at the right time. Don't forget to subscribe, Comic Frontline, so this way, whenever we put up a new video, we have your live stream, you'll know. Over Brand said, don't forget to hit that notification bell. This way, when we do these live streams and upload, you'll know when they come out. And Kat in her box has that thumbs up. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. So this way, YouTube knows.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Now it's on underneath Mike. Then underneath Michael, don't forget to follow all of our social media. With that, thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you next week. Have a happy new comic day. This is Comic Book Weekly signing off. Have a great week, everybody.
Everybody.
Back will missed on Kickstarter.